Heyo! Heyo! Beautiful people of the world. We're all God's children. Amen. It is good to see you. Sorry I'm late. I apologize. That is a no-no. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Man, what do we got going on today, guys? Look at you guys. You got your shoes on. I got mine on too. It's good to see you. Hi from Texas, Paulette, Melinda. Good to be here. It's always good to be here. It's always good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz. You're in the lab. Where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be? I'm sure somewhere else, but you're here. I'm here. Let's talk. How's everybody doing today? Oh, man. The infighting never stops. The misunderstandings never stop. Nothing ever stops. It never stops. And I don't know why. I don't know why we feast off of this. The fighting, the harassment, the name calling. I don't know when the world went and got so nasty. And people wonder why people have anxiety and depression. Well, it's because of the way people treat each other. It's a big part of it. Part of it is that the world doesn't take mental health very serious. And then the other aspect of it is that people don't understand what other people are going through. And the world has just went and got nasty. And I appreciate everybody that is supportive, and I do. I appreciate everything that everybody does. I appreciate all the messages. I appreciate everything. And I hope you have had a great day. But when did the world go and become so nasty and callous? When did we start treating other people like human garbage? When the people start pulling out people's children to try to make a point, to try to unearth something, to try to be so mean. We're wasting time. We're wasting time. We're wasting resources. We're wasting our breath. We are wasting. How is this going to help us become better people? How is this going to help us resolve our problems in life? How is this going to help us support each other? It doesn't. I don't know, and I don't care to talk too much about it, but what somebody did the other day when they called an old man with dementia, brought him into things. Who in the world would think that's a good idea? Are there no limits? Is anything sacred? Does anybody respect anybody anymore? No, I don't know. We must do better. We must do better. And what was done there was completely wrong. I don't care. I don't want to hear a phone number. I don't want to hear any of that. Don't piss on someone and tell them that it's rain. Absolutely not. Unbelievable. How dare you? That was a conversation that you should have had and hung up the phone and never talked about. You should have never it's unfathomable. The limits, people have reached new lows. That's why I always say, reason your nose is so big is because how nosy you are. That's how nosy you are. I mean, come on now. Do people really understand the mental health of certain people, in especially in this community and just in general in life? People are fragile. People are fragile. People are broken. People are upset. Day by day, we struggle. Day by day, we get presented with new struggles that don't include other people's problems. You can't tell me that we're on a good path right now. You can't tell me yet. Where we're headed is dangerous. And we are letting the problems of other people become problems within us. We are letting other people's problems become our problems to where it affects us in actual life. These are problems that are avoidable. These are problems that can be solved. These are not our crosses to bear. The fact is that in this case of the Summer Wells case, there are investigators working it. There are law enforcement working, whether we want to believe it or not. Maybe they're not working fast enough for us. Maybe they haven't done certain things that we think that they should do. But if that's the case, then I guess you should have been a cop. It's one thing to discuss these situations, to bring awareness to them. It's it's something else to call and harass an old man. And I don't care if it was a nice conversation, it's harassment. You don't do it. You just don't do it. When when I came into YouTube, this is not what I had expected. I had no clue. No clue it was like this. But it is. It is like this and doesn't look like it's changing anytime soon. And once again, you have somebody like Lemon Squeeze come in here and they feed off of things like this. I'm not scared of Tiffany. I asked Chase poignant questions. Go somewhere else. This is you trying to upset other people. Nobody's scared of anybody. Tiffany have and I have a fine relationship, but it's not really your business. But this is another perfect example of somebody who just looks for drama. This is right here. This person who is sitting up, typing in, Josh, you're scared of Tiffany. Let's be honest. You threw Chase under the bus when she called you out. I didn't throw anybody under anywhere, nor did I ever even hear Tiffany call me out. I never did. And probably the easiest thing for you is to take some lemons, squirt them in your eyes, and leave. I'm not scared of not scared of anybody. Not scared of anybody. I'm not scared of Doug. I'm not scared of Ziggy. I'm not scared of AB. I'm not scared of Tiffany. What is there to be scared of? I'm not scared of any of them. I have no problems with any of them. I have no problems with any of them. And that's not what any of this is about. I am scared of McDuff. I'm scared of McDuff when his hair gets all fluffed. And I appreciate you guys. Well, Josh is neutral. Well, I'm neutral until I don't need to be neutral. If there's something that I need to have a very strong opinion about, I have no problem having a strong opinion about it. Being neutral is one thing, but right is right and wrong is wrong. And what they do is what they do, and what I do is what I do. And if I have a problem, I have no problem telling somebody we have a problem. You got to be assertive in life, but you can be respectful about it too. Ma'am, whatever your name is, the problem is you had no right calling that man. Had no right. Anxiety, depression, anger, we fuel it. We fuel each other. There are people that struggle every single day with this stuff. And I'm telling you, if you have anxiety, if you have depression, and by the way, anxiety and depression, we can just talk about it right now really fast. The fact is, they're very different feelings, but they're caused almost by the same thing. And we are beating these people down. And I suggest to you, if you have severe anxiety, if you have severe depression, this stuff isn't good for you. Watching this stuff is not good for you. Being a part of this is not good for you. Sometimes it's just hard enough to wake up and get out of bed, even when you feel completely physically fine, even when you feel completely physically strong, the body is willing, but the mind is weak. And they say you don't judge a man until you walk a mile in his moccasins. Even if those moccasins don't fit, are we even willing to try them on? Because when you try them on, they're just uncomfortable. Shoes are not one size fits all. Maybe everybody wears, if somebody, you could wear a size 10, but each shoe is not going to fit each person particularly well. And then so what we have to do is, if we are willing to criticize others, and I don't believe that criticism is a bad thing. I think that if you go too far with that criticism, it is a bad thing. But criticism itself isn't necessarily a bad thing. And let's be very, very clear. There is a major difference between criticizing and judging. And by the way, sometimes some people need to be criticized, some people need to be judged. We'll leave it up to who we leave it up to do that. But criticism isn't always a bad thing. You can't hide the truth, can you? You can't hide the truth. But the fact is, first of all, before you're willing to criticize somebody, you got to be willing to put that person's shoes on, whether they fit or not. You got to try. The theory is that Jesus came to earth because he needed to know what it was like to be a man. How can you speak on something when you don't know anything about it? So Jesus comes to earth to face the trials of what it is like to be a man. Which makes sense. Whether you believe it or not, wouldn't that make sense? That would make sense to me. You got to feel somebody's pain in order to relate to them. I do not know what it's like to have a missing child. No, I do not. And I don't want that. And I don't wish that on anybody. I just don't. And I'm scared to try on those shoes. But like I've said once, and I'll say it again, I have a problem with people who can't get their own life together, trying to tell others, i.e., specifically me, who to talk to, who to hang out with, who to like, who not to like. How to feel. Oh boy, like it's just one of those things. And for the first time, somebody brought up my children. But here's what you don't know about my children. They're not little kids. And I expected that at some point. I always do. Because there's always somebody out there that will go just as low as they possibly can to try to get you upset. But it didn't work. It'll never work. The fact is that me and my children have a fantastic relationship and we spend lots of time together every day. Sure, they know I'm not perfect, but I try. And if you would have something to say to one of my children who are extremely large humans, they'd happily take up for themselves. And quite frankly, if you crossed a line, they'd probably beat the dog shit out of you because they love their dad a lot, a lot, a lot. And they trust me with every bone in their body that I want the right thing for them. And they adore me and I adore them. And no matter what anybody else says, you can never shake that. Never. Never, never, never. You will never shake them. You will never bother them. Because I'd let them deal with you on their own if they so choose to. But here's the best part. They wouldn't talk to anybody unless it was me and unless I said, yeah, it's okay. Last night I was on the phone and I said, hey, I got to go. I need to go talk to my son. I haven't seen him much today. Let me go talk to my son. So I put my phone down and I went in and talked, see how his day was. We laughed. He annoyed me. I annoyed him. And so on and so forth. And that was a bit for the air. My children would never hang up on me unless they knew I was joking around. And I texted them before and said, feel free to hang up if you'd like. Yeah, it was a joke. We were joking on. We were joking around that night. It was good times. But I end up in another, and I say creator as loosely as possible. It's a banned individual from Facebook. I end up in their chat, and he's talking about other people's kids. I tell him he should pay his child support, and he blocks me. And then he just starts sending me emails saying he wants to contact my wife and um, all this kind of stuff. She knows nothing about me. He went as far as to call me a reverse racist, and I told him he was a reversed father. I'm not really sure what a reversed racist is, but I'd rather be that than a reversed father. I can't imagine what it's like to have children who hate you. Can you imagine that? Imagine having children that want nothing to do with you. Imagine that. Oh, the shame and embarrassment. Yeah, I think a reverse racist means you're not racist. I don't know. I don't know. It's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard. But um, imagine. I couldn't imagine having a child that hated me. I couldn't imagine it. And I'm not concerned, and I'm not upset, and I'm not anything. I am here to talk to you. Somebody who owes upwards of $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in child support and drives around with a driver's license that they shouldn't have, shouldn't be telling, or with a drive with driving a car with the driver's license they don't have, shouldn't be telling other people how to live. That's just the long and short of it. And these are the kind of people that creep into your lives, and we let them try to throw off our chakras, try to interrupt our flow because we have good lives. Yes, weed is for people who are responsible and have money to buy it, not for people who owe money for somebody else taking care of their children. That's what weed is for. Weed is a very optional thing. It's the last thing that you should be worried about if you can't even take care of your own children. Cigarettes too, very expensive. I bet if you quit smoking, you could pay that off fast, fast, fast. But you're selfish. A lot of fathers out there that are selfish, disgusting humans. And let's make no mistake, these are disgusting humans. They try and infiltrate your soul because they have nothing else going on. Their number one purpose in life is to try to mess up your day. And you cannot fall for this stuff. Please, people. We got to learn how to handle them. We got to learn how to handle people that only want our demise. And I'm telling you, as long as we know that we are doing right, the criticism of others should not matter to us. Free yourself from the anxiety of thinking about what somebody else thinks of you. Free yourself from the depression of thinking that you are not worth anything when in fact that you are. But just because somebody else tells you that you're not, that doesn't mean anything. It matters what you think of yourself. It matters the value that you put on yourself. What is your life worth? What is your life worth to you, not to others? Don't let the bad people in. Fight it. Fight the confrontation inside yourself. That is truly the only way that you win. I'm comfortable with who I am. They're not comfortable with who they are. And one day I hope that they can be comfortable in their own skin. And we need to learn to be comfortable in our own skin after we walk in other people's shoes, after we, as people who cherish life and want good things to happen, manifest those things for ourselves first. That way they can manifest towards others in the future. The one person that you answer to every day is the person you wake up in front of and brush your teeth, and you're looking right back at that person and you're going, I'm making a change today. There are people out there whose sole purpose for the entire day is to try to mess up your day. Fight it. Fight it. But the fight starts within here. It doesn't start audibly with another person, because that other person can't change your life for you. That other person, all they can do, if all they can do is try to bring you down, then that person doesn't belong in your life and they don't exist. And if there's anybody in the comments that says, oh, unsubbed, you can just unsub. You don't have to announce it because nobody actually really cares if you stay or go. If you want to go, that's your choice. So you don't, just go. Just go. It'll make you feel better on the way out. Just go. If you don't want to hear a positive, if you don't want to hear a positive message and announce that you want to go, then go. It's okay. I wouldn't even be mad at you. I'm not. Never. You're so welcome. You're welcome to come. You're welcome to go. You're welcome to sub. You're welcome to not sub. You're welcome to watch. You're welcome to leave. You're welcome. But just know that you're welcome. Know that you're welcome here with us. You're always welcome. And I love everybody that's here. And I'm not saying that whoever it was saying that they were unsubbing for me. I don't know if they were or not. All I'm saying is you're welcome to come, you're welcome to go, and other places as well. That goes for everybody. That goes for everybody. And I'm not going to be mean to you. Not going to humiliate you. Making a change today? Tomorrow? Are we making changes? We can. Don't let a feeling win. Don't let the anxiousness win. It's almost like a heartbeat in your stomach. It causes you to not eat. It causes you to not sleep. It causes you to second guess yourself. And then there are little cretins along the way that try to add to that try to fuel the hatred. And don't let them. You can only give someone so much power. But just because somebody tells you that you're not good enough, just because somebody tells you that you aren't smart enough, how does that qualify that person? Nancy, I see you. All good. All good. How does that qualify that person to tell you what to do? When in fact, the only person qualified to tell you what to do is actually you. Nobody knows you better than you. Nobody's harder on you than yourself. Nobody. Let all the other love yourself and let everybody else hate you. If being loved by strangers that don't have your best intention at heart, if those are the kind of people that we seek advice and comfort and solace from, those aren't the people I look for. Those aren't the people I'll ever look to. Look for somebody who's going to prop you up, not try to tear you down. The darkest of nights cannot overshadow the faintest of lights. Darkness cannot win. Darkness cannot win if there's a light. It's when you turn your light off that the darkness wins. And I'm not going to let that happen. We've all had so much darkness in our lives. I get emails all the time. People telling me their stories. They're heartbreaking. They're tragic. And I appreciate you trusting me with your story. There's enough negativity in life and with people that we interacted with daily, face to face. There's enough hatred, judgment, lay that all down. Put it at somebody else's feet. Somebody that wants to help you. We all need friends, real friends, true friends. We all need advice. What happens when it's dark in your house? You want to see clearly so you don't trip and fall, don't run into something. Sure, you can still do that with the light on, but you have a much better chance of navigating through your house when there is some light, if not all the lights. It's easier to trip when you walk in the darkness. It's easier to navigate when you walk in light. And I don't know how these people, some of these people especially, and it's not even these people, it's just people in general. I don't understand how you can wade in the filth, in the disgustingness. Which it doesn't make sense because that's all they know. That's their essence. Remember, we talked about essence. That's their essence in life. And it's a terrible one to have because every hour that goes by is an hour that you don't get back. If you play 4 hours of video games, you don't get those 4 hours back. You don't. You get nothing back. Time is the equalizer, and you will run out of it. And a lifetime seems like a really long time until you get to the end of it. And then you look back and you go, when did I get old? When did I grow up? When did I become an adult? Money, cars, all that stuff. When you chase that stuff your entire life, you obviously have to sacrifice some stuff. There's nothing wrong with being successful, but if there's no balance, who are you going to share that with at the end of your life? You can leave it in your will, but nobody cares about you. You're old. I want my kids at my side when I'm not well. I want my family at my side when I'm not well. And that's why I choose to be with them when we are well, because we're always together. Have you ever seen, and I know that everybody has, I'm sure we've all seen some disgusting, homeless bum whose face is just covered in dirt, pants are all ripped, probably soiled, shirt ill fitting with the neck ripped down, and their shoes are on different feet. And they're walking weird. They got the right foot on the left, or they got the right shoe on the left foot, and the left shoe on the right foot, and they're walking, swaying back and forth, maybe with a 40 ounce or something in their hands. And you go, ugh. Now I get it. Homeless people are unsightly, they smell bad, and they ask you for money. Fact of the matter is, whether we want to accept it or not, That person is a person. We don't always treat them like people. And it's very easy to say, get away from me. And I look, I'm not telling you to walk up to a homeless person and give them a hug. I'm not. Please don't. But when I look at a person like that, I always wonder, I always wonder, where did it go wrong? What happened? Because any resemblance of humanity really isn't, and any pride is gone. How did that happen? Did they do it to themselves? A lot of the times they do. Did somebody do something to them that sent them on this path? They're so used to negativity. Get away from me, rolling up your window. Get away, get away. It's the same thing you would do to an animal, right? It's the same thing you do to an animal. And what happens? They no longer fit in our society. They no longer fit in our society, even when they're just asking for a sandwich, even when they're just asking on your way into a restaurant, can you get me something to eat? Yes, sir, I can, and I will. Feeding the homeless is a good thing. It certainly is a good thing because it shows love and compassion for the human race. And love and compassion is really what we need. We're starved of it. Starved of it. And I get it. A lot of them ask for money, and you have every right to say, absolutely not. I'm not going to give you any money. But here's what I will do for you. If you choose to accept that, then fine. If not, but you don't have to go hand out your money. And if you don't have enough money to buy a homeless person something, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, we've all seen those homeless people that say things like they hold the sign, "Why lie? I need a beer." Well, I appreciate your honesty, but you also need love, compassion, and maybe a job. If you've ever been to a soup kitchen, there's a lot of wonderful people there that either took bad turns in life, made really bad mistakes, family cut them off, whatever. But compassion is really all we have. Love and compassion are free to give. And not talking to a homeless person like they're a pile, that's okay. No, sir, I don't have any spare change for you. Sorry. These are humans. These are human beings. And we, as as upstanding citizens, have to realize that we're all just human. What's the difference between you and a homeless person? A house and some money. That's it. That's it. We got to try to walk in other people's shoes before we can judge. And sometimes we're not going to like what we see in those shoes. I thank you guys for being here tonight. I'm the lab. Well, actually, I'm Josh, and you're in the lab. I'll catch you tomorrow. Enjoy your Saturday night. Yeah. Have a good night.